Hi guys, it's me, Maramanda. That intro is dumb. Everything is dumb. I'm gonna draw roses about it. I'm gonna start by sharpening my pencil. I can kind of see that I might get sick of this. A little bit. Like part of me is like kind of sick of drawing roses already. And it's only like this is only my 10th rose out of 100. I have like I have a lot more to go. Hopefully it starts getting rewarding soon because like when I look on the paper, it looks kind of cool, but when I look on video, like you can barely see what I'm doing. I don't know what to do about that. Also, yesterday I like did a test of this microphone and it worked, and then I listened to the video and it did not work. Whatever. The video did make me laugh, so there's that. Anyway, 10 out of 100 roses. Finally reaching double digits, though. That's kind of cool. I don't know if it's paying off yet, but we'll see. Okay. I'm going to try and draw 3 of these today because I feel like it'll just go faster if I do 3. And then I want to start, like, I have a whole list of other things that I want to draw 100 of. So today, so I want to get through the roses faster. But okay, I might not draw 3 of this same rose because I've been doing this one for the past few days, and I don't. I'm kind of getting sick of it. So I'm also gonna try and draw a little bit darker because I am getting a little more confident about where I need to be putting things, and so there's kind of just like no excuse for somebody watching this to not be able to see like what I'm doing. I say this as I make super light lines, but it's cool. I mean, it's not really something that you can like. I mean, roses are delicate babies, and they're not really anything that you like add like a ton of shadow to. I mean, maybe like when I get more confident, I really like to draw dark. Um, so maybe like when I like actually know what I'm doing kind of with them, I will and I'm talking in like 80 more roses, I'll like start to draw them a little darker. I'm starting to see like the detail. Like after 10 of these, I'm starting to like not just see the detail, but be able to draw it because I feel like in the first few, I honestly like up until yesterday, I I could see the details, but like the relationship between each petal, I wasn't quite getting right. And now I feel like I am a little bit better. Hmm. There's something weird about this here. So this kind of comes up here and just curls down there. And then this kind of goes into this fold, this little swirl here. bit of a shadow up here. Again, I just like really kind of, I'm trying to think of like how to darken it this a little bit. And I think just like finding the shadows is exactly what I'm trying, or what I should be trying to do. But also, I kind of just realized that like all my shadows are like the values, there's like not really values. It's like just all one note of shadow, which is not how it is in the picture. And I kind of think that's part of the problem. One time I painted a rose and I just like, I had three different colors, like a dark, medium, and light. And then I used three different paint brushes and just like held them all in my fingers and just like that. And I was able to actually paint like a pretty decent rose. I was kind of proud of it, or I was really proud of it actually, because like I've always like wanted to incorporate roses into my art, but they're so difficult for me. I mean, like I'm 10 days in and I still can't quite get this right. I'll get there though. I mean, like within within 100 roses, I should get there sometime eventually. I just like really realistic. I mean, like I want like my art's kind of like realistic yet surreal. Surrealistic. I just made that up and I've never heard that anybody else say that before in my life. And I just like I was thinking earlier today, the other day I referenced Picasso and how he first learned like realism, so that he could then break the rules. And I was thinking a better example for my art, and I'm not wrong about that, but like my a better example for my art would probably be Dali. How he um I mean, when you go through the Dali Museum, at first you see his earlier works, which are pretty realistic, and there's a lot of still lifes. And I think there were figure drawings that were really good. He never really lost that with the figure drawings or the still lifes. It's just that they all became more dreamlike. So he learned to draw things realistically, and then he was able to make them dreamlike. And that is what I'm trying to do. And also, I was listening to Rich Fulcher's Talk Box. It's a podcast by Rich Fulcher, who interviews other comedians. Rich Fulcher was in The Mighty Boosh and a bunch of other stuff, but most notably, kind of The Mighty Boosh. And his guest, I don't remember his name. I should probably look it up, but they were talking about Edinburgh and gigging in Edinburgh, and you like gig like 3 times a day there, and it's like it you get so good at gigging. Um, and the comedian that he was interviewing said it was like um, the gym for your art. I mean, like the gym for comedy. And I was thinking that this for me is kind of like a gym for my art. I kind of gave away the punchline with that mistake, but that's okay. You get it. Okay, so already I'm really kind of liking this. Like I'm paying more attention to the shadows, not really rushing through. kind of like keeping the petals a little tighter this time as well. And it's wild how much the shadows are actually helping. There's kind of like a shadow behind this petal here. And a lot of times when you're drawing, it helps to just look at the shape and the shadow. So like I said with the painting and the three brushes, I didn't really look at the form until I was done, and then my focus kind of zoomed out and I saw the whole thing. I literally looked at the reference picture, saw, oh, this color here, or dark color here, medium color here, light color here, dark color here, medium color here, just kept hitting those spots with the right colored brushes, not seeing the whole thing and not seeing what it would look like at the end. I just did it. And then when I zoomed out, it was a magical surprise. Ooh, okay. I'm seeing something here that I kind of haven't before. This, interesting. How do I do this? This kind of comes down and like cradles this little butt here. How do I do that? Okay. Okay, so perfect example. Again, there's like, so when I look at, oh, this petal comes down and cradles this petal, I'm like, how do I make that happen? And now, okay, I zoom out with my focus. I look at just, there's like a white line right here, and then I shape the darks around the white line. It kind of comes up like this. Okay, and then I can tell that it like, huh, just kind of comes over here. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, and I can kind of tell that this curves up a little bit because it's a little bit darker, like right in here, just a little bit. So I'm using like a medium dark. But not up here. I kind of messed up the shape of that a little bit, but that's okay. There's another petal that comes across here. Ooh, okay. And I'm seeing, so I'm definitely seeing this line, but I'm also seeing this shadow. And then I can tell that there's like a little curl here. I might actually try this rose again. I know I said earlier that I would do a different one, but now I'm like really getting into it. When you get into drawing, it's just so fun. It's hard sometimes, but it's so fun. Okay, and this one's kind of like a medium dark. Yeah, okay. medium dark, and then that one is light, and then this one is kind of dark. Interesting. Okay, so I can tell when I first started this, um, I wasn't thinking about values very much at all. And I can tell that I didn't really trust the more subtle shadows. And I think this is my problem a lot of time when drawing realism is that I don't trust the more subtle shadows to uh, adequate, adequately highlight the lights, I guess. So that's okay. That's why we're doing 100 of these. This is why I'm doing this gym for art. And when you finally start to get it and you finally start to see, oh, it's so fun. And I mean, like, this isn't even that good, but I'm starting to see it. And that's where I'm getting excited. Okay. This kind of comes down and okay. So this is a little bit darker in here. And then kind of like much darker underneath. Okay, so I'm seeing like kind of 4 shades of dark. Another thing too is that when you start to see the details better, um, like I've noticed, like we're 20 minutes in and I still haven't gotten this yet. Whereas before I would be like out to the second or third row of petals by now. But because my brain is opening up and being able to see things, I'm kind of focusing more. Okay. There's kind of a darkness here, like a little shadow here. And this kind of comes out here, sort of. There's a darkness, there's a shadow here. I don't think I quite got that right, but that's okay. I'm doing 2 more today. Again, probably of this same rose. And we'll see tomorrow what I feel like doing. Um, I mean, I'm definitely doing 3 roses, but I don't know if I'm doing all of this one or if I'm doing like all one of the others. When I open my laptop tomorrow and see the roses, I'll find out how sick I am of this one. I opened my laptop today and I was like, my stomach turning. My stomach is turning. I can't, there's no way I'm going to be able to get through this. But then I just started and it's actually like so much fun. So, hmm. I think I'm also making the lines kind of too subtle. because they're not really showing up here. Yeah, okay, I think that's what the problem was. Okay, and there's, like I said, there's a little darkness back here. Okay, there's a petal here. It comes out this way. Okay, okay. I need to look at the lines. Okay, and there's some shadows behind this. It's kind of like a V shadow here because there's another petal that comes out here. Okay. V shadow, and then the V shadow here, and then the kind of shadow that casts, or that these petals cast upon the one behind them, which starts kind of here. Okay. And then, so back here, we kind of see a little structure, like inner structure of the rose with a solid line back here. And then shadow upon this petal. Okay, that doesn't look quite right, but ooh, okay. And this is kind of in a V as well. Okay. This definitely gets thinner here. Hmm. Okay. And there's some subtle shadows beneath this petal here. Not a whole lot, not as much as like in here, but it just kind of like lightly plays. Ah, okay. And again, this is where I need to trust the subtle, like the medium shadows, or I guess that'd be kind of light shadows. Well, I'll call them light shadows. Ooh, and now I can kind of see the curvature of this one. Okay, this shadow should have been like kind of light right here. Let me take a drink of water. Oh, I love this. I love the relationships between the petals, how they like slightly overlap each other. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to see this correctly. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Okay, so this one comes down in here. See, kind of a line, like a structural line right here. And then the shadows get lighter as this petal goes up. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just got really excited. I think I'll actually be able to draw roses by the end of this. Finally. Okay. And then like decent shadows up in here. Okay. And then there's a big shadow here. Not necessarily super dark. I'm going to leave it like this and then draw the actual petal and see what happens. Oop, I lost it. Where'd you go? Okay, that's because I lost this petal first. I'm going to draw the relationship. Okay. I see it. And also, we need to make these a little bit bigger. Nice and curvy. Yep. All right. Can't really see the structure down here, but that's okay. I'll get it eventually in the next 90 roses that I'm about to draw. I just can't believe how quickly I'm like being able to see this. This is why I wanted to record this, because first, like, kind of for myself as well, but like just so I can see like how much and how easy it is to improve if you just repeat and practice. Repetition is often all you need. Okay, so there's another petal that comes out here, but this one goes behind that one. Okay, and it just kind of curves up nicely. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, okay, and this shadow does not line up with this little point over here. And the point in the reference photo is white, or like a very, very pale pink, which shows up nicely against like there's like a background of dark leaves. You'll have seen it in the thumbnail. Okay, so a little bit of a shadow here, just a little bit, just enough to kind of like create a little halo dome thingy. And there's a really pale leaf right here, or a pale petal right here. Oh, it goes up. Now to darken the edge of this one, kind of curves, and you can see that a little bit. I don't know if I did that well, but it's okay. So we go up, and then we're coming down. A fly just hit my laptop screen and then fell. Yes, and that's what comes up here. Okay. No. Ah, it goes underneath this. Okay. These ones I made too thick, but that's all right. I'll fix them. Fix them next time. Okay. So this has a little bit of a curve, like a little bit of a shadow here. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I'm starting to kind of see like a little bit what I've done wrong. It's really interesting. Like you'd think that you could just look and then just copy it. Just do it. Like it's right there, just do it. But art is so weird, you don't just do that. I think that kind of completes the ones that are up here. It's coming together a little bit. I definitely need more practice, but I'm actually not mad at it. Okay, so this one definitely curls under, but I'm going to draw the shadow around it before I do anything to it. Because that's another thing that I tend to do is that I tend to make darker the thing that I'm drawing rather than the thing behind what I'm drawing. And so this petal is casting, this like very pale petal is casting a shadow on the petal below it. And so what I normally would do is darken this petal rather than allowing the shadow, like allowing the petal to cast the shadow. This petal comes out and up, and it's got like a little bit of a okay. Ooh, okay. This shadow kind of comes out and just like leaves the very edge of this petal alone. But there's the shadow here. It's so fun when you start to understand something so, I don't want to say complex. Yeah. There's just layers and layers and layers of roses. I love it. And this kind of curves out, and I don't know how to do that. Okay, what am I looking at? What am I seeing? I guess just like more shadow in here. Kind of. Okay. I'll just keep plugging away at this shadow, I guess. Make it a little more. It does. I don't want to say abrupt because it's not like, oh, here's a line and here's the shadow above or below it, and above it is no shadow, but like kind of. And it is darker, like right in this corner here. Where this hollow is, I guess. Hmm. I did notice like this actually comes up like this. And this is, even this is kind of like larger. That's better. I like that. Okay. So back to this one. I don't know what made me, oh, yeah, okay. Because I just keep kind of like going back and forth and just adding the shadows, checking the relationships. Okay, it's got like kind of like a goofy little thing here. I'm gonna do that. These leaves, or the lower petals, as they get older and wilt. This does not go out that far. Wait, what am I looking at here? Okay, this is you. Yeah, okay. That's actually not that bad. I'll just curve it a little bit into here. And there's kind of a pit here. Okay, and then this petal comes up to a little bit of a point. Oop. Okay, so see that's because I'm like going back and forth like that. I'm like darkening the object. So I need to be more deliberate with my pencil strokes, it feels like. Oh, and that's this one that comes around here. Oh, what? I don't think I noticed that before. Oh, cool. Okay. So what are you doing? All right, you coming up here. Yeah, that's the one. Holy crow. Yeah, like stuff like that. Like, how does it take me 9 days to realize that's what that is? Interesting. Or maybe it did. I don't know. I just kind of like saw it in a new way just now. If that makes any sense. It better. I'm not going to explain it anymore. Okay. And then somebody comes out here. Okay. And then that's that point, and we know about that already. Okay. This actually comes up over here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to be able to see like the relationships between the petals better. And I'm like looking or thinking back over the past 9 roses and going like, oh, I wondered how these kind of connected. Because even yesterday, yeah, yesterday when I was doing the 9th rose, I was like, ooh, I'm getting lost a little bit. Not too lost today. Hmm. That does look funky though. I think you just have it coming out too far. Oh, look at this little guy. Okay. So, all right. So there are like some of the subtle shadows here to show that curvature, and then the shadows start going back here. And we've got a little thing here, just a little guy peeking out. And he is shadowing a bigger one. Okay, and that's where this one starts. Kind of like right next to this guy. Who is throwing off a lot of shadow. They're not really overlapping each other, they're just kind of like next to each other. Look at that bug right in the middle of the rose. I don't know if you can see it on camera. They're just kind of hanging out. I really like this one. I cannot imagine what the roses are going to be like in 100 days, or in 100, after having drawn 100 more of them. I will be able to like totally understand the structure of roses. I'm loving this. Okay, so we've got just a few more petals to go. And you could just like totally like keep rendering this for a while, like especially like once you have the structure. Okay, guy, you gotta go. It's easier to, yeah. Once you have the structure, like it's easier to like find where you should put the shadows as well. And I think the first 9 roses were about like learning kind of the structure of the roses, because I think that's what always confused me. Even like when thinking about having drawn those 9 roses, like I think every video I was like, I'm lost. Like around this middle part here, I would get kind of lost. Holy crap, we're at 48 minutes. I might need to like speed these up or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave them as is, and then maybe people will start commenting. Like once people start finding these videos, you can comment and see and let me know whether they're too long and boring or if you like them this way. I often wish in like drawing and painting videos that they would just leave them, like keep them ooh, there's a really pretty flash of light over here. So we get the darkness here. We get the shadow here. There's a nice light just right there. And this is kind of curved under and shadowy because, and it just kind of makes it look a little more 3D, I guess. Oh, crap. Wait a second. This is supposed to come all the way over here. Hmm. Because this. Oh no! Oh, thank God. Okay. My computer just went to sleep. Just like my audience. Okay. Okay. I found it. Okay. That's supposed to be really subtle, but kind of didn't make it that subtle. It's actually supposed to be over this way more. Yeah, okay. And then just we subtle shadows under here. This one this one has bigger shadows here. I find myself trying to speed this up a little bit. Okay, so, this rows until number like maybe 9 through 20 will just be like really long. And then I'll start to get so good that I'll like speed up. That'll be interesting. Okay, I want to get this in here as well. And there's another one here. This like tricorn one, has 2 points. This one kind of needs to be a little bigger. And then that one comes out like that. All right, I'm gonna take some time and render them a little bit. It's a little too dark, but that's okay. Got some subtle curvature happening here. I really like this. That bug's starting to bug me. Ooh, okay. And I've got some light lines in here, the veins of the petals. So I'm going to draw those in a little bit. I don't like how this one looks. Kind of like haphazardly did this a little bit. It doesn't come out that far, I don't think. That's better. Again, just when you're drawing, just kind of look at the lines. And the shades rather than the bigger form. And be kind of constantly looking back and forth between your subject matter and the paper.